Hi everyone, Matt Johnson here from my YouTube channel Beer and Watches, and in today's episode we're going to find out how this and this come together in this micro brand watch. You don't want to miss a second of this episode. Now time's a ticking, so let's get stuck in. Hi everyone, I'm Matt Johnson and I'm your host of my YouTube channel Beer and Watches, where every Monday, Wednesday and Friday I bring you the very best in watch news, watch reviews and craft beer brews. Now here on my channel I focus on micro brand watches that you won't find in your everyday high street store and affordable watches that people like you and me can actually afford to collect. Now on today's episode we're going to be taking a look at the Borealis Neptuno dive watch. This is a dive watch from the Borealis watch company based in Portugal, Europe. I reached out to them and asked if I could review one of their watches. They sent me the Borealis Neptuno, which is a brand new watch that's coming up on their website. In fact, it's so new that right now it's only on for pre-order. It's expected to deliver in July of this year, which is 2021. I was working on a cruise ship and we passed by the Aurora Borealis in the middle of the night, and while everybody was up on deck taking in this natural wonder, it's a natural phenomenon caused by a disturbance in the magnetosphere which is influenced by solar winds. I was asleep in bed. I completely missed it. That changes today. Well, kind of. It's the Borealis, but it's the Borealis watch. A little bit different. Alright, so all that being said, let's swing this camera around and let's do a full in-depth review of the Borealis Neptuno. I should mention that this is a demonstration model. These watches are due to ship in July of this year, 2021, but you can go over to the website right now and pre-order them for $290. You have to put down a 50% $145 deposit, and then the balance is due upon delivery. A few of the versions of this are sold out already, so if you do want to get those, head on over to borealiswatch.com. I'll also put that link in the description below this video. This particular watch comes in two versions. It comes in a version like this, which as you can see has the date complication at the 6 o'clock position. This has the NH35 movement in it. It also comes in a no date version, which has the NH38 movement in it. The one I've been sent is this one here with the, well, I think it's kind of an aqua to fade into black, but it's called green fade into black. It's also available in a black dial, a white icy frost dial, a loomed white dial, a caramel to black, a red to black, and then as I say, this one, the green to black. Full disclosure, I don't get to keep this watch. I do have to send it back. I don't know if this is the packaging that will come with the actual finished watch. It may be different. This one does have the Borealis logo stamped into the leather of the pouch there. The actual one will also come with extra links, a warranty card, and all those cool things. So here is the watch itself. First of all, as you can see on the dial here at the 6 o'clock position, it's an automatic. It's got 300 meters or 1,000 feet of water resistance. And by the way, let's tackle the elephant in the room, my nail. I hit it on a table whilst playing virtual reality. The dial here is, well, it's not a multi-layer dial, but it's a dual layer dial. I hope you can see this. Basically what we've got is a top dial there, which is the green going to black. And then that's got cutout sections at the hour markers and also at this circle around the dial, and those show the white underneath. Now the hour markers, the hour and minute hands, the second hand and the bezel on this all have Loom. The Loom on this is an RC Tritech BGW9 Super Loom. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Loom right now. All right, and there is the Loom on the watch, guys. As you can see, it's lit up like a Christmas tree. We've got Loom all around the rotating bezel. We also have a slightly darker Loom on the hour markers, also on the arrowhead of the second hand that you can see sweeping away there. And we also have Loom on the hour and minute hands. So I would say especially for under $300. That is great loom on this dive watch. Just below the 12 o'clock position, we have the Borealis logo right there. Now we also have a rotating bezel on this. It is a unidirectional bezel, meaning it turns one way to the left. It has 120 good solid clicks. Now the bezel has really good teeth there on it. As you can see, they're kind of a square cog style teeth, and when I turn this, it has good solid clicks. It's easy to hold, easy to turn, but it feels solid. It doesn't feel sloppy, doesn't feel loose, doesn't feel like it's gonna displace on you in the middle of a dive. Very little back play on this watch. Very impressive indeed. Now it is a stainless steel bezel on this with a hardened black PVD coating. Moving around the watch, we've got a stainless steel 316L case. As you can see, it's got brushing to the side and on the lugs, and then we've got a high polish on the side of the bezel. Bracelet itself has solid end links. It's a 316L stainless steel bracelet. It's got brushing to the side links, and then it's got a beads of rice linkage in the center of the bracelet. Moving around to the buckle, we've got a push button lock-in deployant clasp. We've got the Borealis logo engraved on the buckle there. Pull that back, and then we've got two push buttons to deploy the clasp, which is a milled stainless steel clasp. There are a few scratches on this, but again, remember, this is a pre-production demo model. The buckle works great, very easy to clip back in place. The lock is solid. I like everything about that. It's also got 6 micro adjustments on the side, and as a matter of fact, when this arrived to me, it didn't fit, and rather than take out links, I just moved it 5 micro adjustments over, and now it fits me great. We've got nice brushing to the clasp. All in all, very, very nice. I like that a lot. If we go back up to the lugs here, you can see we've got drilled out lugs, which makes it easy to remove the solid end links if you want to change the strap on this. As for the dimensions of this watch, well, let's go ahead and grab my calipers and take a look. So first of all, on the case diameter here, we've got a 40mm case diameter. Thickness, we've got 14.2, 14.1 millimeter thickness. The band width is 20 millimeters, meaning the lug width is 20 millimeters, and the lug to lug on this comes in at 47.1 millimeters lug to lug with curved end lugs, so it's going to hug the wrist. It is time for a beer break, because after all, this channel would not be Beer and Watchers without the beer. This is the Coors Slice, available in this one and orange flavor. It's a lager with a hint of lime. You know, it's funny because when I was a kid, it was around. It was called Lager and Lime. This one is a 4.2% lager, so it's not very strong, and you can check it out at CoorsLight.ca. I'll put that right here. I'll also put it in the description below this video. Now, if you want to check out the full Coors line, you can go to this website, molsoncoors.com. Again, I'll put that link in the description below this video as well. Molson Coors has its headquarters in Chicago. I've been there. Look, that's me in Chicago. And it was formed in 2005 when Molson of Canada joined Coors of the USA, and they became Molson Coors. Ta-da! We can't taste this in the can, so let's crack it and stack it. I showed this in one of my other episodes. If you want to pick up one of these cool glasses, then I'll put links in the description below where you can pick up these glasses. Let's turn the glass to a 45-degree angle and pour 2/3 of the beer. We then pour the last third as we tilt the glass up, which allows for a nice head on your beer. Now, it's not all going to fit in there, so we'll save that for later. Cheers to each and every single one of you, my subscribers. Thanks so much for helping my channel grow, and let's give it a taste. It tastes like lager and lime and a little bit soapy. Don't know if I'm a big fan of that, actually. It kind of tastes like beer mixed with washing up liquid. Huh. Let's get back to the watch. The watch itself is vintage inspired, you can see that for sure, and it takes its direction from the vintage dive watches of the 60s and 70s and kind of gives it that modern punch with the dial inside. I like it very much. I think it's a good looking watch, very handsome watch. It's solid, it feels good on wrist, it's got some weight about it. Certainly feels like a very, very well made product. Now, moving on to the crown, as you can see, it's a signed crown with a B for Borealis. It's got some big teeth on there. Now, when you turn this, it is a screw down crown, but it's only a half a turn to pop it open. So you just give it a half turn and then it pops open. To put it back, you push in and just give it a half turn and it locks in place. Now I had to check with Borealis to make sure that was right, because I've never seen a crown that just needed a half turn and not an actual screw in, but apparently it is, and once it's half turned in, it's got full water resistance. The first pull out here is going to change the date, and we turn this in an anti-clockwise direction, and you can see that it changes the date window there at the 6 o'clock position. The date window is a little small on this. It's certainly not impossible to see. It is very legible, but you do certainly have to kind of bring it a little closer to your eyes to see the date in there, especially because we've got the back on the date window is the same color as the dial of the watch. However, it works, it's functional, it clicks in very well there. I have no complaints other than it being a little small. Just while we're on the dial here, you can see that we've got the chapter ring marked with the seconds around the dial of the watch there. Going back to the crown, if we pull it out again, it is hackable. So if you watch the second hand, when I pull it all the way out, the second hand stops. And hackable means that the second hand stops when you pull the crown all the way out, which allows for more precise time setting. Once it's all the way out, you can go ahead and switch the time on there. Works very well, very responsive. I don't have any problems with that at all. There is a slight wobble to the crown there, not much though, so nothing to be worried about. There are no crown guards on this, so you always want to make sure with a watch that has no crown guards that you treat the crown with respect. You push that all the way back in, and then you just give it that half turn, and that locks it back in place. Very, very simple. You're not going to spend time winding this thing back in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pop a pin remover in the drilled lugs there. We're going to open up this band and take a look at the case back, and then try and get the case back off to take a look at the movement inside. So all we do is put that in the drilled lug, give it a push, and then we come in the other side and give it a push on this side, apply a bit of pressure to the band, and it pops right off. Super easy when you have the right tools. And there you can see that gives us a little bit of a better look at the solid end link there. So very easy to pop this off. If you want to pop your own strap on from, say, a company like Strapsco or something like that, would be very easy to do. By doing that, that gives us access to the case back here so we can see it a little better. Now, first of all, you can see engraved on the back there, and again, there are a few scuffs and scratches. Remember, this is a pre-production demo model, so it's been around a little bit. We've got a mermaid engraved on the back. We also have the name of the watch here, Neptuno, also Borealis Watch Company. We have 300-meter water resistant, again, which is 1,000 feet, and right there, NH35 automatic movement. The NH35 movement is a very good workhorse movement. As I mentioned, it's the NH38 movement that's in the no date version. Let's take our case back opener. We'll pop this on here. Hopefully I've said it correctly. We've got a plastic housing around the movement. That's just to take up the space between the movement and the case itself. And also that plastic is going to kind of cut down on vibration and noise from the movement as well. As you can see there, we don't need a spyglass in this. It says NH35A there, 24 joules. And you can see the balance wheel ticking away just here, and the pink little dot there is actually one of the synthetic jewels inside the movement. There are 24 in here, and they stop friction between the watch parts, which would damage the watch. This little half moon disc here is the rotor, and by that swinging, kind of like the pendulum on a clock, that winds the spring, which in turn powers the movement. Now this movement runs at 21,600 VPH or vibrations per hour. It is hackable, as I already mentioned. It's got a 40-hour power reserve, which means if you do a full wind on this and then take it off and sit it on your bedside dresser, it will run for 40 hours before you have to wind it again. However, if you continually wear it, then the rotor there will power the movement, so you shouldn't have to wind it. It runs anywhere from about minus 25 seconds to plus 35 seconds variance accuracy. Let's get the case back on here and finish up with the review. So there it is, everybody, the Borealis Neptuno from the Borealis Watch Company. If you want to pick one of these cool dive watches up, head on over to borealiswatch.com. Don't forget to use the discount code BEER10. And as I said, this one right now is available on the website for pre-order. And if you go there, pay your deposit, it should ship in July of this year, 2020. 2021. Well, that's it for this episode, everybody. I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, leave them below. Do leave me a thumbs up. And also, don't forget, if you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss my episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want to support my channel and wear a really cool, fashionable t-shirt and bring out the inner horological geek in you, then head on over to shopbeerandwatches.com and pick up some of your official Beer and Watches apparel. Well, that's it, guys. We'll see you again on Friday for another episode of Beer and Watches. Oh, and by the way, if you are enjoying my channel that's right there on my TV, you might want to check out a few of my other videos. You can click on this one right here, right now. That's a good one. And don't forget to click on the Beer and Watches logo right there to subscribe. Take care. I'm Matt Johnson, and bye for now.